Missouri, not done yet.
3rd and 5, empty backfield. Cook, easy, catch, Burden, touchdown.
They've been from Manhattan to Knoxville, Kansas City to Fayetteville, Dallas to St. Louis, Nashville to Orlando, and the place your Tigers call home, Columbia, Missouri. This is Earning Our Stripes with Brock Gordon and Ben Duncan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Earning Our Stripes. I'm Brock Gordon, doing it solo this week. No, it's Benjamin Duncan. Also, if you can't tell, this is a, on my end, you can't see me, so it's an audio version only. However, you can see some of the nice footage that I got from the Murray State game down below and what's playing over this right now. Let's just get right into the game right now. Your Tigers won 51-0 over Murray State. The Racers just had no answer for the Tigers whatsoever, as the Murray State Racers accumulated a total of 85 yards of offense in that game. Yes, you heard that right. 85 total yards of offense. They were able to pick up 5 first downs, and that was it. They had almost as many completions as they did first downs in that game. They had 7 completed passes. They had more penalties than they had first downs. They had 6. Your Tigers had 7 for 44 yards, which was less yards than the 6 from Murray State. Your Tigers' 30 first downs. They were 8 for 13 on first downs, 489 total yards, 310 through the air, 179 on the ground. 1 turnover for the Tigers, and Murray State had a turnover as well. As a fumble for the Tigers, a fumble for the Racers, and an interception was returned for a pick 6 by Toriano Pride Jr. Quick look at the box score real quick for your Tigers. Brady Cook, 20 of 31, 228 and a touchdown. Drew Pine got some action. He went 10 for 11, 82 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. Nate Noel got the bell cow amount of the attempts on the ground, as he had 11 carries for 48 yards. Quinn Lacey came in second for yardage for the Tigers with 5 carries and 42 yards, no touchdowns. Marcus Carroll, 6 carries, 35 yards and a touchdown. Brady Cook, 4 carries, 22 yards and a touchdown. Tavarius Jones, 6 carries, 16 yards, no touchdowns. Jamal Roberts had 3 carries, 8 yards and a tutty. Drew Pine also had a carry for 8 yards and no touchdown. Through the air, the only lone touchdown was from Luther Burden, 4 for 49. Or 4 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown, the longest of being his 19-yard touchdown scamper. Mookie Cooper was in second with 1 reception, 49 yards. Daniel Blood came in third on the team with 5 receptions for 42 yards. Rich Queese Johnson, 4 for 41. Theo, 3 for 30. Nate Noel with 4 for 20. Marcus Carroll, 2 for 19. Mekhi Miller, 1 reception, 18 yards. Tyler Stevenson, 2 receptions, 17 yards, and Brett Norfleet with 1 and 4. On the defense, there were 2 sacks for the Tigers, Chris McClellan and Khalil Jacobs. There was also a pick, as I said, Toriano Pride Jr. Leading tackler for the Tigers was a tie between Corey Flagg and Tristan Newsom, as the backups got out of there pretty quick. Kicking, Blake Craig, 3 for 3 on field goals and 6 for 6 on extra points. He accounted for 15 points for your Tigers. Luke Bauer had 2 punts for 97 yards. That's an average of 48.5. He had 1 inside the 20 and 1 of 52 yards. This was a sellout in Columbia, Missouri. As the Tigers covered, the final line for Mizzou was 50.5. Mizzou scored 51, did not allow Murray State to score. As Murray State, really the only stat of note for them was Amari Wainsley with 10 total tackles, and that was it for the Racers. So, your Tigers pick up the win. They move to 1-0 on the year. That's not where the news stopped. Oh, no. First of all, literally the next day, thereabout, Mizzou announced that the Boston College game is sold out. So that means 4 out of the 7 were sold out. Shocker. But the more sad news on that front was that one Brett Norfleet, sophomore, who is as you know, a favorite here on Earning Our Stripes, he will be out as he suffered a shoulder injury against Murray State. He is considered a week-to-week. He was the all-freshman team for 2023. But the good news for the Tigers is that against Buffalo, it will also be a sellout, which means there will be 8 straight home games for the Tigers that will be sellouts. More good news for the Tigers is that they are number 9 in the AP poll as they jump to Florida State and Michigan. Florida State, of course, losing their first 2 games to Georgia Tech and future Mizzou opponent, Boston College. So there is a very strong chance and possibility. Then on September 14th, it is college game day for an 11:45 kick in Columbia, Missouri, which would just be one of the most insane things, period. Coaches poll Mizzou is number 10, so they do crack the top 25. Just other random Mizzou news here. Well, let's start with defensive plays. Tigers ranked number 1 for week 1 of the Power 4 conferences. They allowed 1.7 yards a play. Flip over to softball real quick as they announced that Lisa Anderson has been extended. She'll be extended through 2028. Big get for women's softball at Mizzou, as you've seen how dominant they've been here in recent weeks, and that will continue here. His first collegiate win, Tyler Frenner has been named Men's Runner of the Week for track and field. So congratulations, Tyler. As the Tigers look to continue the momentum here on the cross-country field going on forward. Hey, but it doesn't stop there. Mizzou soccer was in action this past week as they were able to pick up the win. As soon as I can pull it up here quicker, the better. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. Oh, yes, we'll start with that one first, though. SEC fans, DirecTV has dropped. Let's repeat. SEC has been dropped, so ESPN has been dropped from DirecTV due to not being able to get words are hard. Not being able to sign a deal and ink a deal for this upcoming year, so they are currently struggling on that front. Now we go over to soccer, as it's been a struggle for the women. They had their first game against Memphis on August 18th. We did not cover that here. They lost to number 10 Memphis 2-0. They then tied at Illinois 1 apiece, and then have dropped the last 2 that they've played, as they played number 23 St. Louis and lost 2-0, and lost at Miami 2-0. They will take on the Southeast Missouri Redhawks at home on September 8th at Audrey Walton Soccer Stadium. So go turn out. Help the girls pick up another win. They are currently 1-3-1 on the year. The lone win coming against Missouri State in the first game of the year, as the exhibitions against Lindenwood and Wisconsin do not count, unfortunately. Although if they did, the women's team would be positive on the year. But unfortunately, those games did not count. As we'll switch gears here, we'll go over to, as soon as it loads for me here, we will switch over and talk about the volleyball team. As they were able to sweep, easy for me to say, sweep NC State at the Blue Jay Invitational up at Creighton. They did unfortunately fall to number 12 Creighton, and they also were able to sweep Drake in non-conference play. The women are currently 2-1 on the year, with wins over Drake and NC State. They head to the Northern Kentucky Invitational, where they will take on Northern Kentucky. They will also take on Louisville and South Dakota. That's September 6th, 7th, and 8th. They then will take on Yeah, in 1 week, they will be taking on the University of Missouri, Kansas City Roos at the Hearn Center. So make sure to turn out for that, as they will also be taking on UT Martin on that one, as well as it is part of the Mizzou Invitational. We'll now switch over to a very important question here, our question of the day. What is the most unhinged / mad you have gotten at any moment from Mizzou history? At any sport. For me, it's Kentucky in 2021. That for me is the most unhinged I've gotten and the most unhappy I've gotten for a game, or any moment period. So yeah, that's easily got to be it for me. But let us know down in the comments what it is for you. As now, Tigers fans, it's time to know your enemy, powered by BCardEntertainment.com, the University of Buffalo Bulls from Amherst, New York, which is a 17.5-hour drive northeast of Columbia on I-70 and I-90. So expect very little to no blue in the crowd this week, similar to last week against Murray State. This is their 25th year of play in the Mid-American Conference. When they made the jump to FBS in 1999. They've been FBS team as long as I've been alive. Pete Lambeau is in his first year at the helm for Buffalo, as he is 1-0 on the year, but is no stranger to coaching at the FBS level. He has an overall record of 113-65 with stints at Lehigh, Elion, and Ball State University. Lambeau was also the special teams coordinator at South Carolina the last 3 years, so he is no stranger to the Tigers. The Bulls are coming off a 3-9 season last year, but are just 2 years removed from a bowl win in 2022. Similarly to last week, Mizzou has only played Buffalo once before, as the last time these two teams met was in 2008, where Mizzou won 42-21. That squad was led by future Super Bowl champion Chase Daniel. For the first time this year, we actually do have a scouting report for you, as the Buffalo offense is a multiple offense, which likes to run the ball a lot more than they do to pass, as they ran the ball 46 times to just 24 attempts last week. Yes, that's right, that's a 2-to-1 ratio. Meaning the Bulls will try to attack the heart of the Mizzou defense by running the ball. Lopez Barksdale leads the team in rushing yards with 99. He is tied with L.J. Henderson for carries with 14 and touchdowns with 1 piece. C.J. Ogbonna will be under center for the Bulls this week, as his last outing, he went 14 for 24 for 195 and 2 touchdowns. He also ran the ball for 20 yards on 5 attempts. Mizzou will need to look sharp on the option plays this week. This is the second time Ogbonna has faced the Tigers, as he was with SEMO in 2021. He went 7 for 14 for 53 yards and a pick in that game. Receiving-wise, the Bulls have spread the ball out pretty evenly this year so far. However, it's only been 1 game. Nick Millen leads the way with 5 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown. Taj Johnson has the other touchdown on the year. The Bulls run a good old-fashioned 4-3 defense with a nickelback as a rover or a bandit, depends on how you choose to look at it, to assist wherever needed. Sean Dolak leads the team in tackles so far this year, and with 11 and has a pick on the year as well. The senior middle linebacker is the heart and soul of their defense. Kobe Stewart leads the Bulls in sacks with 2, and Deion Crawford has a sack on the year as well. The Bulls gave up 13 points to FCS Lafayette last week, but looked very good at stopping the run, as they held the Leopards just to 43 yards on 29 attempts. They did struggle against the pass a little bit, however, as Lafayette completed a very nice 69% of their passes. Nice. The Bulls are slightly undisciplined. They also had 7 penalties for 70 yards last week. For Mizzou, to get the win this week, they will need to shut down Ogbonna, and they will also need to get the Bulls to 3rd down, as they only converted an abysmal 38% of their 3rd down attempts last week against FCS Lafayette. On offense, Mizzou is going to need to gash the Bulls with the pass game, and then, unintended, bull rush them with Carroll and Noel. Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Buffalo Bulls. As it currently sits, the line for the Mizzou versus Buffalo game is 34.5 for Mizzou, with a over-under of 51.5. Now, Mr. Benjamin Duncan is not here, so I cannot get his take on them. However, I will give mine. Mizzou will And mark my words, they will cover that spread. They will score and win by 35. Buffalo does not look like a good team on paper. I watched their footage against them in Lafayette. They do not look good. Lafayette is a mediocre to middling to just terrible FCS team this year. So it's very, them winning by what they did is a interesting. It's not a fair judgment of Buffalo, as they did win 30-13. However, it really shouldn't have even been that close. So I think the Tigers do win by 35, and I think the final is going to be 42-3. I think Buffalo's going to get a field goal, and that's about it. I think it might be a miscue on the offense, as Mizzou did lose a fumble against Murray State on a cutesy play, gadget play that just didn't work out too well for Mizzou. So I have a feeling it might be a little bit more of the same, and I'm afraid that they are starting to look ahead, as both Boston College and Vanderbilt are looking like they might be ranked when they come to Columbia, Missouri over the next 2 weeks. Other than that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And again, let us know, what is the most angry you've been for a Mizzou football game? Like I said, mine was the University of Kentucky game with the punter. If you know, you know, which a lot of you out there that listen, you know. I suppose I should be doing a mailbag this week, but I do not have the same capabilities as one Benjamin Duncan would. So I'm going to go here, and there's no comments. All right. You know what? That's perfectly fine, but we're going to read it from the podcast before, which there were 3 comments here. Noah, the man, the myth, the legend, said the first SEC conference win that Mizzou won was against Kentucky. You would be correct, sir. That was the first win they had. That was in 2012. He also responded, is there any way we could make the highlights full screen when we react to them? We attempted that last week, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however long it's been now. It just didn't like it. For whatever reason, the software that I'm running, which, God, when you see my new camera, ooh, it's a nice camera. For whatever reason, the old software I was using wasn't liking it, and it just didn't. So, other than that, I do not have the button this week. Can I? I don't know if I even have it. Son of a gun. I'll just say it myself. Well, I've been Brock Gordon. You can follow me on Twitter at BrockGordon99. The B and the G are capitalized. Oh my. Ben can be found on Twitter at EliteTigerSport1. The E, D, T, and the S are capitalized. You can follow B Card Entertainment on Twitter at B_CardENT. The B, the C, and the E are capitalized on that. Hey, if you want to watch the best moments of that vlog that I did, the footage that you're seeing right here from Mizzou Murray State, go ahead and check out the video that I did. The Murray State versus Mizzou game day vlog. I took one Mr. Thomas Haley. He'll be with me again as we will be heading out a little bit farther west this time, as me and Tommy will be in Manhattan, Kansas on September 13th for Kansas State hosting Arizona. I will also be in Lincoln, Nebraska now. I can officially say that. I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska for Illinois versus Nebraska on September 20th. Check those out if you are in the area, which I don't know if you are. If you're a Tiger fan, I highly doubt that you are. But I will be in that area. If for whatever reason you're at that game because you're a fellow sicko, come out and say hi. Other than that, I've been Brock Gordon. Have a wonderful rest of your week, folks. And as always, MIZZOU. Have a wonderful rest of your week, folks.